presentable, willing and obedient, docile, servile, and compliant. You'll be returned home to your owner as the perfectly sweet, perfectly obedient, good little miss. Hi, it's Jacqueline Powers. Before we start, a quick note. This video mentions my Patreon and downloads collection. Support and exclusive benefits are in the links below. If you enjoy my content, don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell to never miss out on my latest uploads. Only safe for work content is here, but for more intense versions, check the description. Now relax and let the session begin. Hello, my sweet, and welcome to the Powers Academy for Wayward Boys. I am the head governess here, Mistress Powers, but you may address me as Mistress or Ma'am when I invite you to speak. It is my responsibility to ensure that every single student who stays here with us can be groomed, molded, transformed, pedicured and manicured, primed, and programmed to be the perfect little miss. When we're finished with your training here at the Academy, when you're finished, presentable, willing and obedient, docile, servile, and compliant, you'll be returned home to your owner as the perfectly sweet, perfectly obedient, good little miss. What they do with you after that will be completely up to them. But for now, you will do as I say. You will do everything I say for you to do. This academy is notorious with certain circles where people wonder about these methods we use to perfect our graduates. They whisper what we must be doing, unspeakable things to these boys we take in, coddling them under our skirts, schooling them, grooming them, or perhaps even brainwashing them. How else can we be so successful? If our methods were fair, we'd never be so effective as we are. They say that these methods we use are unethical, unspeakable. After all, how else could it be that such naughty little boys can enter and then leave as such sweet and obedient girls? As night follows day, every boy who comes here leaves us a good little girl. It will be my duty while you stay here with us to make a good little girl out of you. Here at the Academy for Wayward Boys, we are so very eager to bring out the very best good girl inside each one of our charges. Over different lessons and modules, you will soon learn what it means to be a good girl and to be able to serve properly once you've permitted to leave this academy. We've already had very prominent graduates from this school. They serve in households you'd never imagine. Such pretty little things, so well trained, so willing to please, and I'm sure you have the same potential. It starts with the very basis of what makes someone want to be a good girl. And that is the ability to listen well and learn from your lessons. So I want you to focus just on my voice right now and to listen to every single word that I will tell you. I will test your imagination to see if you have the potential and what it takes to become a good girl. Now just focus carefully on my words. You will find that everything else is so very unimportant for the moment. All that matters is the sound of my voice and my words. Each and every word becomes easier and easier to focus on if you just let it happen. So don't try so hard, my dear. The secret lies in relaxing for me. Don't try to make yourself listen to my words, really. Just relax. Instead, while you listen to the sound of my voice. And before you know it, there will only be my voice left. You just have to take in the relaxation flowing in every part of your body. No matter if you're sitting, laying, or standing, it is so very easy to just listen to my voice. My voice has this special tone that attracts good girls and good boys all the same. It makes it so very easy for them to follow my words and focus on my voice. Feeling it is so very easy to let all your focus become my voice, my words, just wanting to listen more and more to them, and to find yourself so easily relaxing to it. I am sure you can notice how those eyelids of yours are just becoming heavier and heavier while you listen to your beautiful headmistress's voice. Finding how her words just so easily let your eyelids become heavier and heavier, as if you already lost control over them. As I describe how heavy they become, they simply become that heavy. It's all right, my dear. Don't be afraid. The effect my voice can have is so very instant sometimes that your eyes just start to do so automatically, whatever it is that my voice describes. Don't be alarmed now. All of this is really just natural, and you should just let it happen and enjoy it. The feeling of how your eyes just grow heavier and heavier as I continue speaking with my wonderful words to you. However, it's not only those eyelids anymore, is it, my dear? That's right. It's already starting everywhere in your body by now, isn't it? If you really were standing up until now, of course, you should definitely sit down or lie down now. Well, every part of your body just becomes more and more relaxed with every word of mine. Your mind and body will find it so very easy and easier as we continue to follow the sound of my words to descend deeper and deeper into a state of total focus just on my words and voice. Deeper and deeper into a total focus only on what is truly important right now. Because you can already feel how wonderful it feels just to listen to your headmistress's voice, don't you? How relaxed your whole body is just simply becoming just by listening to my every word. How is it that you can feel that same heaviness that you feel on your eyelids just spreading all throughout your body, and how it slowly but surely just pulls you into this deep and total focus on nothing but my words and voice? finding that with every word of mine, this just becomes more and more natural. Noticing how you don't need to do anything, and your focus just keeps drifting back to my voice and words, almost as if your attention was completely drawn to my words, as if you just can't stop listening anymore. Why would you? 'Cause after all, you came here to become a good girl. So you should listen just exactly like this. While someone like me, the headmistress in charge of you, speaks to you, a good girl listens and takes in their words. That is what good girls simply do. Good girls don't need to try. They just listen, follow, and readily obey whatever the person in charge tells them. Feeling how with every deep breath of yours, that focus on my words just grows and grows, as the relaxation inside you just continues to grow more and more as well, with each and every deep breath you take for me. That's right, you're listening so well already. You're on the right path to becoming a good girl now. Just listen to what I'm telling you and take wonderfully relaxing deep breaths for me, as those eyes just become way too heavy to still keep open, and they just flutter more and more. As you listen to my wonderful words, they relax you so much that it just becomes impossible for you to keep those heavy, heavy eyes open anymore, as they start to just stay more and more closed with my each and every word, until at some point your eyelids have simply become so very heavy that you can't open them on your own anymore. It is really so natural for that to happen with my words. It already happened so many times before to all those other good girls who have left this academy, and now it's time for you to step into their place, to feel your eyelids so very heavy that they no longer open anymore, no matter how hard you even try right now. In fact, the more you try to open them, the more they just stay tightly shut. That is because your subconscious has been listening this whole time. We slowly but surely have trained your subconscious more and more to do as it is told by the person who is in charge. Right now, I am in charge. And I told you that your eyelids are simply too heavy by now to still open on their own anymore. And just like that, your subconscious listened, followed, and obeyed my words so easily and naturally. You are taking your first steps right now to becoming such a good girl for the one who is in charge. You are learning to listen so well to what you are told that your mind just makes you do it all on your own, feeling it simply become like a reflex for the one who is in charge, finding that whatever their words tell you will become true for you. The most important thing about this, though, is that you have to trust that person. Only if you trust that person, just like you trust me right now, only then can you follow so easily and effortlessly every single word that they are telling you. Now that you have started to learn one of the basics, I can only tell you that the more often you practice this basic skill, the more easily and more quickly you will become a good girl, just like you want to be. Practice makes perfect. And if you're training your focus eagerly, before you know it, my good girl, you will be eager to listen. And maybe this won't happen overnight, but the more often you practice by listening to my words and voice like this, the more easy it will be for you to obey the one who is in charge of you in the future, my dear. Just trust my words. I know how to make a good girl, don't worry. I've been doing this for so many years by now. Just trust in my experience and follow my lessons, and you will become such a good girl for the one who will be in charge of you. Once we send you back to them, I'm sure by now you can already tell just how much you really, really want this, right? How much you really, really want to be a good girl for me right now, as I am in charge of you right now. So listen, my good girl, listen to me. Show me how well you can bring your focus on nothing but my words and my voice by now. Show me how well a good girl like you can listen to my each and every word, as I continue to teach you what makes a good girl a good girl. Now that we have that part about the focus on what is really and truly important down for now, let us start to go into the next part, which is the feeling of being eager. The feeling of being eager is a wonderful feeling that will help you so much as support and eagerness to really want to properly serve the one who will be in charge of you. Or for me right now, the feeling of serving so eagerly is a feeling that will fill you out completely. The feeling of being eager is a motivation to want to do so well for the one who is in charge of you. You want to do so well for me and to listen so very intensely to my words and lessons. It feels so good to be so eager in everything you do for me. It's a natural feeling of being so very motivated to do so well for who we are eager for. It helps with fulfilling tasks you might never have thought about before when who is in charge of you mentions them to you, because you are so eager to please them. You even start considering what they ask of you, and before you know it, something you never thought about before just becomes routine for you, all because of how eager you are to please the person who's in charge of you. I'm sure you understand more and more what I mean, right? After all, you feel so very eager to listen to me more and more right now. So eager to pick up all your lessons in the future. Isn't that right, my good girl? Starting to feel so eager to want to become the best good girl there is for me. You want me to be proud of you, of how much of a good girl you can become for me. You feel so eager to do your very best to keep improving more and more. How well you can listen as the good girl that you are for me. Feeling how all you want to do is just follow my words and voice more and more. Finding it so very easy to notice that your focus should really be finding yourself so very eager to listen to my every word now, and to just not really care anymore what I might tell you consciously, but to simply do as I taught you, to listen with your subconscious, just taking in my words so automatic and deep as we talk. It's so very easy, really, to just absorb them without paying too much attention to them. And do you know why? Because you're already eager to just let me do as I feel. Because it just simply feels so good to know that I will come back soon, teaching you more and more how to really be a good girl. You can already feel your deep trust starting to develop, knowing I will know exactly how to make a good girl out of you. Always remember the basics of just listening, of just following, of just obeying. Not even needing to think about it, it's just automatic with me, or a person who is in charge of you. Feels just so right to want to do as we say. Feels just so perfect to listen to our every word so easily and effortlessly, again and again. Feeling eager to do as you're told by the person in charge. Feeling so eager to do as I say. Now these feelings start to sink so very deeply into your very being, happy and ready to accept them as your very first steps to being such a good girl for me. Notice how good it already feels inside you to imagine yourself being a good girl for me. It is something you're so very eager to do now, aren't you? Good girl. You made the very first steps today to becoming a good girl in the future. I am very proud of you, my good girl. I can see a lot of promise inside you. So I hope you will feel so very eager from now on to come to me for more and more of my classes. Knowing that the more often you revisit classes, of course, the easier the things of the next course will be for you. I'm sure you are so eager to be the very best student you can be for me, aren't you? But for now, it's time for you to drift back out of your trance for me. I will count up from 1 to 10 now. And when I reach 10, you will be back in the here and now. All the lessons accepted deeply into you. Now listen to me counting up, knowing where your focus should always be. 1, starting to wake for me. 2, more and more eager to do as I say. 3, feeling how you just want to wake up for me more and more now. 4, knowing that I wanted you deep again at some point. You will be very eager to be deep again for me. 5, halfway back up to awake again. 6, coming up more and more. 7, there's only up right now. 8, those eyelids able to lift up again. 9, starting to open your eyes, blinking. 10, wide awake. This was your very first lesson in becoming a good girl. I'm sure I'll see you again. I can already tell how eager you are now. Until next time, practice makes perfect. Always remember that, my good student.